Now I'm going to clean the insides of the stem and shank. I have a bowl of alcohol here, and I have a stem brush. I also have pipe cleaner that is a bristle pipe cleaner that scrapes the inside pretty well, and then of course regular pipe cleaners. Now, I'm not going to do all this on camera because it's going to take a lot of time. It's probably pretty dirty in there in these. Alright, first the brush, and as far as it'll go, it may not come out the bit there if the bit's kind of tight, but back and forth many times. It gets real dirty. Same thing in the shank, back and forth many times. I'm not going to do all that. Then I like to come back with the bristle pipe cleaner. Same thing, back and forth. See how dirty that's getting already? That loosens up a lot. Then dry pipe cleaners, and keep doing this back and forth until I'm happy that I've gotten it all out of there, which obviously I haven't, so I'd have to continue doing this off camera. I'll come back and it'll be time to restain this bowl. Now I'm going to stain the bowl. I use this brand of leather dye, Fibings, I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm using light brown for this particular pipe, and I put some of the dye in here, and 1-to-1 alcohol I added to it to dilute it a little bit. Now, to apply the dye, some people just use a Q-tip. That'll work. Some people use the little applicator that comes in the box of dye. I just use a pipe cleaner, fold it over. But before I do that, I'm going to take another pipe cleaner and put it in the shank, kind of wedge it in there a little bit, and that gives me a little something to hold on to. Now, I always wear latex gloves when I do this because I always get the stain on my hands, and it gets in the fingernails and the cracks and crannies and all that. So I always wear the gloves. Anyway, let's get a little bit on here and just start coating it. Now you could just let this air dry for a while if you wanted to. That's what a lot of people do, but I like to speed things up a little bit and use a lighter to, since it's alcohol based, it sort of catches on fire. There we go. And that's it. Now I could do 2 or 3 coats on this. Normally I would, but I'm just going to do one for this video. And next is going to be, oh, one more thing I like to do. I like to take a regular alcohol, a little gauze or something, and kind of wipe this off to sort of even out the stain. I'll just let that air dry. And the next part of this is to polish this up, shine it up, make it look nice. I'll come back with that. Now I'm going to polish and buff the bowl. For smooth bowls like this, you can do this by hand with something called Paragon wax. You just put it on with your finger and then buff it with a rag, and it shines okay. If you're going to polish a rusticated pipe, you need to get into all of these grooves and use a different product. It's called Halcyon 2 wax, and put it on with a toothbrush to get it into all those little grooves, or a shoe polish brush. You may even have to flame it a little bit with the lighter to melt some of it into the deeper grooves, and then wipe that off with a rag. But this is the one we're doing today. I am going to demonstrate this very quickly. You don't need much. It spreads on there pretty well. Usually you let it set for 5 or 10 minutes, a few minutes anyway, before you wipe it off. But I'm going to go ahead and wipe it off, see if it shines a little bit. Well, a little bit. But a better way is to use, if you have a lathe, is to use these wheels that are coated with various products. First you start with what's called Triple E. It's a brown polisher, and then you follow that with white diamond, and you end up with Cornova wax. Now I'm going to do this off camera. There are plenty of YouTube ways of showing how to do that. It makes too much noise anyway, so I'm going to do that and then come back and see the final product all polished up. Here's what it looks like before, and I'll come right back after this and see if I did any good. Y'all come back now. You hear?